Dr. Lee, I'm very excited about being here with you today to talk about this project that you've been working on for some time now. And as you well know, I'm very passionate about what I do for public education and what school board leaders do. As you know, I'm the National School Boards Association president, and I'm going all over the country now speaking to school board leaders about the importance of how they work together as a team for academic achievement among their students. So I'm excited about all of that.
What advice would you give school board presidents out there for conducting great meetings, following their agenda, and just some strategies for being effective at what they do?
I've been on my local board in Laurel, Mississippi for the past 14 years, and that's a long time. Probably half of that time I've served as board president. And as you well know, board presidents, what they are leaders that come in strategically to help boards move forward with not only the agenda, but whatever it is they need to do to set policies to make sure academic achievement is achieved in their school districts. Now, part of that procedure includes knowing parliamentary procedures, also going through training processes where they understand their role as a board president and how they are to use their abilities, their skills, their leadership style to pull the other board members into working together as a unit to get things done. That's very important. That leader must be trustworthy, as you well know. They must be an individual that the community trusts, that they can see as the leader of that organization, but they also must be good communicators. Communicators not only with their local board, but also with the media that may come in and ask questions about things that are going on in the district. So it's a very strategic role, a very powerful role that should not be taken lightly.
How do you see the role of the school board changing over the next few years?
With the passage of Every Student Succeeds Act, in that reauthorization of public education funding, there is a part that says school board leaders can now have a greater role in governing locally. What that's going to mean is going to put the spotlight on school board leaders all across the country, making people around them aware that they now have the power to make decisions for their communities, what they feel is best for the children in their districts, without all the federal controls that sometimes has handicapped districts from doing what they feel is the best things for their community. You know, there's not a cookie cutter way of doing things in terms of educating children. What may work well in one district may not work well in another district. So school leaders will have the power now to locally decide how they want to do things in their district. That's a big change. And so with that being said, and that going forward, that means school board leaders, the spotlight will be on them now. If there's no academic achievement, students are not moving to the next level, then guess what? We can no longer point the finger at the federal government. We can't point the finger at the community. We have to point the finger at ourselves, because now that responsibility has been put back in the laps of school board leaders.
Do you see more board accountability for district performance than we ever have in the past?
Well, I kind of touched on it a little bit. I really do see more accountability coming from school board leaders now that that responsibility of governing has been totally put in their hands. And so I see leaders coming together, working together more as a unit, doing the things that they need to do to make the right decisions, setting the right goals, putting the right plans in place to make sure children are getting equity and excellence in public education. Because as you know, that's what it's all about, equity and excellence in public education. And so you've got to find the right plans and the right things to do, being accountable, using candor but respect as leaders, working together to find the right things we need to do to go forward for student success and student achievement. Because really, that's what it's all about. It's not about us as school leaders. It's really all about the children. And sometimes we can lose focus of that. So with the accountability piece being put in place, it's basically letting them know your focus and your attention should be on student academic achievement. And that's what it's all about.
If you could look into a crystal ball and see that perfect board member, what would that person look like? What would they do?
A super effective board member to me is an individual that takes the politics out of what they do to govern a school district. I see a school board leader that's very passionate, compassionate, a school board leader that understands candor as well as respect, one who knows that if we don't agree at the board table, it is hard to move forward to get anything done. So sometimes it may be a leader that has to compromise a little bit on their ideologies about things, knowing that as when we come out to the public, when we come out to the media, that we appear to be one, a unit that's moving forward with the focus being on student achievement and excellence in public education or in their local district. It's very important that their goals and their missions and the visions is always in the forefront of their minds, not losing focus on what that is really all about. And when they do, then you lose something in the mix of all of that. And who suffers the most? The children are the ones who suffer. Learning to get along, I see board leaders in the future really going forward to do that. Getting along with one another, taking the politics out of what they do to help children. I see them as servant leaders. And when you are a servant leader, there's no political issues there. You're all about the children, not about yourself, not about your future political aspirations. It is about doing what is best for children. And that should always be the focus. I see them as great advocates for education for children. In the fight, whether it be on the local level for public education, whether it be on the state level, and even getting involved on the national level. All of those things are very important if we are to see public education reach the new levels and new heights of expectations that this community that they're serving in or even the nation expects from us as school leaders.